expect young people to contribute positively to society, engage in discourse, and thrive in a democratic society if they are not exposed to the topics and aspects of history and life that made society the way it is? Well, for you to be able to know how, I am here, Emily Gaco, with my group mates, namely Eliazar Anor, Cole Sigisabal, Danica Avila, Shiza Milinihan, and Sherilyn Sikuya, for we will give you such informations and insights talking about why social studies is important for students in the particular aspects of knowing their responsibilities and values as citizen. So, stay tuned! In elementary schools, social studies is often a subject that is left behind, at least in the traditional sense. We may feel like the subject is being neglected, even forgotten. Many of us think of social studies as learning about history, but it is so much more. Social studies' main purpose is to develop good citizens in the classrooms, schools, state, country, and of course in the world. As stated by the preamble to the North Carolina Essential Standards, the purpose of social studies is to first, develop young people who are knowledgeable, critical, and capable of making informed decisions about the world and their place in it. Second, to prepare young people to participate actively and responsibly in a culturally diverse, democratic, and increasingly interdependent world. Now, I know you have heard many times the word young people. Am I right? And might be confused of who are they? Well, to tell you, young people is what we call youth. Yeah, you heard it right. Young people is the youth. In definition, youth is any person between the age of 15 years and 30 years regardless of the gender. Unfortunately, the youth are the backbone of society and hence, they determine the future of any given society. Remember, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. We heard and even seen this quote before, right? A lot of times. This is because all other age groups, the kids, teenagers, middle-aged, and senior citizens rely on the youth and expect a lot from them. This makes the youth to be an important age group in both today's society and future society than other age groups. This is why youth must not just learn and understand of what their roles in the society. They should put it on actions, okay? Okay, remember, the future of our families, communities, and the country lies in our hands. So, take actions. Now, moving forward, let's talk about what are the responsibilities of the youth. So, as what I've said, youth has a very important role to play for society. Do you remember? For that, we need to know why youth is special. So it is because they are young, full of energy, and educated with rationality as their ultimate belief. Now, their role in society is to reproduce, protection, and growth. Let me explain it one by one. Okay, so reproduce here doesn't mean reproduction or increasing the population, but it means youth must fulfill the position left by the elder. So let's say for example, imong dad or imong father is na a company. So as a child, you should fulfill their position, no? If ever mamatay, say for example, so dili ka magpataka-taka sa imuha, dili ka mo take drugs or imo ra pasagdan imong kaugalingon. As youth, you should fulfill the position left by your elder. Second, protection. Youth are expected to protect their culture and tradition while at the same time makes it better and embrace changes in the society. So, for instance, it is youth only who becomes a part of political movement for a major change in the country. They become part of armed forces too, to safeguard the freedom of people and so on. And yes, daghan kay tag pwede mabuhat since kita ang youth. Now, the third one is growth. The growth of society in all the spheres like social, political, and economic spheres mostly depends on youth only. As having a fresh energy, they were able to perform better of ensuring the growth of society. That's why. Now moving on, as stated in the reason number 2 of why social studies is important for students, you have there on the screen. Na diha ang reason, no? Students need an understanding of history, political science, culture, and all humanities to be able to understand why it is important to be a good citizen. Now, let's have history first. Why is that so? Nganong importante kaya ang history for students? Well, here is Mr. Eliazar Anor to give you facts about it.
Okay, so why do students or young people need to understand history? So, we know that in history, okay, we can learn from the past events. So, let's see here. What is history? So, unsa kuno ang history? So, it is stated here that a history is a study of past events. So, what I've said a while ago, that why do we need to study history? Because we can learn from the past events, and history is the study of the documentation of the past events before the inventions of writing. So before the inventions of writing, wala pa nakaiba or wala pa sila makasuwat sa, or wala ang mga sa unang tao nga sa unang panahon, dili pa sila kaibaw nga mo suwat through verbal information lang, mao na sila nga maka-trace back sila kung unsay nahitabo. Why? Because mao man lang na experience, and through history sila makaingon nga uy mao ni nahitabo sa una. Okay? Mao ni ang nakuan sa una, o mao ni na ay mga inani sa una ay karon tuod ni sa una, di ba? So why we need to study history? Because it is important, or it is an important role sa tuang lives nga maka buhat or maka-come up ta sa uban or sa in a particular idea. For example, karong inventions, di ba? Kay without history we cannot have these inventions nowadays. And also history considered as an umbrella term in compromising past events as well as memory discovery. Okay, so ako nagingon ganina nga discovery. So unsa may nadiskubrihan sa una, tungod kasi may nakadiscovery ang mga atoms, okay, sa mga laws, sa mga distance, sa mga motions, di ba? So through history makahibaw sila bang gikan ni kuan, o gikan ang kisa may author anang Big Bang Theory, kisa may diin magikan ang mga tao, di ba? Ano man, because they discover something through past events. And also the collection. So kasi may collection sa una, sa unang panahon wala ang mga gigamit sa mga ninunot natin is mga kuan man, mga bato, okay, mga kahoy, in order for them to survive, in order for hunting, for surviving, and para sa sila makakaon. So kung makadto sa mga museum, daghan tag makita ang mga collections dito, napay mga skeleton sa mga dinosaurs, and however mga dinosaurs karon is wala naman karong nga panahon, but still we believe that there is a dinosaur nga naman through history for collecting their bones, for collecting their remains, and also organizations. So what is organizations? So maka-study po ta sa organizations. For example, asa man gikan ang mga Catholic, di man gikan ang mga Baptist, di man gikan ang mga Southern Baptist, or ang mga Muslim, nganong na ang mga inani nga organizations. Okay, why? Through history usab. Mao ni ilang diri sila nagsugod, ang founder ani kay si Kuan, ang date mao ni dira nagsugod. So ang foundation di ay nila is through history. Ngano kay about karon, ngano tay mga knowledge about karon because of history, and also the presentation and interpretation of these events. So it is very important as a students, as a young ones, or as a young people, that we we need to study history. Never neglect about history. Why? Because through history, kung balik ko na, through history, we can understand the past events and we can come up to a conclusion in this present day. And also, dili lang dira mahunong ang history. Nga naman, kay kasagaran na to, labi na makalimuta, labi na sa cellphone, makalimuta usto kung research. Oy, maadto ta sa history, ato tanaw, mao din ni, di ba? So it is important talaga nga aduna tay or mabasa or mastudihan nato maayo ang history. And also, the importance in studying history is through history we can learn how past societies, systems, ideologies, governments, culture, and technologies were built. Through history, makahibaw ta or makakat-on ta about sa societies, sa sistema. Uy, lahi man sistema kaniadto karon, di ba? Kay naka-evolve man sa ang technologies and also naka-evolve sa taong kalibutan, naka-high-tech sad and ideologies, ang governments. So unsa may government sa una, na ay usahay nga makaingon sila nga ang government sa una is one government lang. Pero tungod kay naamatay iyang mga kuan ba prinsipyo. So moto naka-divide ang kingdom and also kingdom to kingdom na ang kuan so na World War I and World War II. So mo na nga through history makaingon ta ba diri nagikan di ba? And also the culture of a particular place. So here in the Philippines daghan kita mga cultures here, di ba? And we never forget that those culture nga gitudlo sa to mga ninuno. Why? Kay ang culture sa Philippines perting pagkaninduta. Muna nga isip usa ka batanon, isip usa ka estudyante, dapat di ay makakaton po ta sa tong kultura. Di lang kay mo adapta sa laing culture, but also dapat mo adapta sa atong kagalingon unang culture. Okay? Muna nga we must learn first our own culture and also technologies were built. So daghang mga technologies were built. So kung wala tay sakyanan, kung wala ang mga sa unang panahon dili mo gamit kung wala tay mga ligid karon, kung ang mga sa unang panahon wala sila gamit og ligid nga mga bato or kuan or kahoy, di ba? So through their inventions nag-evolve lang nato diri in this present day, in this present world, and how they operated and how they have changed.
Political science. What is political science? Political science is the study of politics and power from domestic, international, and comparative perspectives, or it simply means the scientific study of politics. It is a social science dealing with systems of governance and power, and the analysis of political activities, political thought, political behavior, and associated constitutions and laws. Ang political science di ay entails or nag-involve sa pagsabot sa political ideas, ideologies, institutions, policies, processes, and behavior, as well as pagsabot sa mga groups, classes, government, diplomacy, law, strategy, and war. Why do students need to understand political science? Students need to understand political science because first, it is an excellent preparation for effective citizenship. Fundamental siya para masabtan nato ang atoang rights and responsibilities as a citizen. And if we are an effective citizen, we embraces core democratic values and strives to live by them. We accept responsibilities para sa kaayuhan sa atong kaugalingon, sa atong pamilya o sa atong komunidad. Ug aduna pod tay knowledge sa mga tao around us, sa atong history o mga traditions nga nag-form sa atong local communities, sa atong nasod o sa tibuok kalibutan. Second, understanding political science prepares students for a variety of careers and positions in government agencies and political offices. A variety of careers including law, journalism, international affairs, elementary and secondary education. Third, it equips students with an understanding of the political institutions and laws that govern all businesses' functions. And this also sharpens our understanding of organizational dynamics and human relations, and hones our writing, communication, and statistical skills. Fourth, understanding political science grounds students in the importance of political participation and prepares them to take part in the political life of their communities and the nation. So, ang pagsabot sa political science nag-base sa mga estudyante para sa kamahinungdanon nga participation sa politics, which help them to be prepared in taking part in the political life para sa ilang communities and sa nation. What are the roles and responsibilities of students in terms of political science? First, students should study political concepts and analyzes how politics influences societal development. Second, students should examine the behaviors of world leaders and explore issues of power, conflict, and justice. Third, students should study the development, political system, and function of governments in an attempt to ascertain the best practices for integration into new ideas and future proposals. The main focus of political science is it focuses on the theory and practice of government and politics at the local, state, national, and international levels. We are dedicated to developing understandings of institutions, practices, and relations that constitute public life and mode of inquiry that promote citizenship. So students' role and responsibilities in terms in political science are fundamental for them to deepen their knowledge and understandings about politics and that they can be able to apply it on real-life situations.
Up next, culture.
Culture is a term that refers to large and diverse set of mostly intangible aspects of social life. So culture also includes the material objects that are common to that group or society. So it is a distinct from social structure and economic aspects of society, but it is connected to them, both continuously informing them and being informed by them. So, according to sociologists, culture consists of the values, beliefs, system of language, communication, and practices that people share in common and that can be used to define them as a collective. So, it is important for shaping social relationships, maintaining and challenging social order, and determining how we make sense of the world and our place in it, and in shaping our everyday actions and experiences in society. So it is composed both non-material and non-material. Okay, so what is sociologists define culture? So culture is one of the most important concepts within sociology because sociologists recognize that it plays a crucial role in our social lives. So in brief, sociologists defined the non-material aspect of culture as the values and beliefs, language, communication, and practices that are shared in common by a group of people. So, expanding on these categories, culture is made up of our knowledge, common sense, assumptions, and expectations. It is also the rules, which is norms, laws, and moral that govern society. The words we use as well as how we speak and write them, what sociologists call discourse, and the symbols we use to express meaning, ideas, and concept like traffic sign and emojis, for example. Okay, so these are the following example, which is culture is made up of knowledge, common sense, assumption, and expectation. So culture also what we do and how we behave and perform. For example, theater and dance informs and encapsulated in how we walk, step, carry our bodies, and interact with others. So next is material culture. So it is composed of the things that humans make and use. This aspect of culture includes a wide variety of things, from buildings, technological gadgets, and clothing to film music, literature, and art, among others. Aspects of material culture are more commonly referred to as cultural products. Okay, so next is why students need to understand culture. Okay, so studying culture, students will learn about different cultures during their education, feel more comfortable and safe with these differences later in life. So this allows them to interact in a wide range of social groups and feel more confident in themselves as well as in their interaction with others. So studying cultures allows us to have knowledge of our own lifeblood, traditions, and the things that made us who we are today, to know how valuable it is to have one, and to preserve its existence. Culture is also an identified difference between us and other people from other countries. So, ang pagtuon sa kultura nagtugot kanato nga makabaton o kahibalo sa atong kaugalingong tradisyon sa dugo. Ang mga butang nga naghimo kanato kung kinsa kita karon. Aron may balaan kung unsa kabililhon ang pagpatuo niini o pagpreserbar sa paglungtad niini. Ang pagtuon sa kultura isip usa ka estudyante usab ito kini pagkatao ang pagkalainan tali kanato og sa ubang mga tawo gikan sa ubang mga nasod. Okay, so mao to ang culture. Importante sa mga estudyante nga pagtuunan ang kultura. Kaya nagabaton ito, makabaton tayo or makabaton ta sa pagkahibalo sa atong kaugaling tradisyon, sa dugo o mga butang nga naghimo kanato kung kinsa kita karon. Mao kana ang culture.
Once again, good day everyone. I am Chizami Solinihan from Group 2. So, to continue the discussion of my groupmates about the citizen responsibilities and values, let me share to you my thoughts. So, my topic is all about all humanities or humanity, and what's the connection of this in citizen responsibilities to our society. Okay? But before that, let us define what really humanity means. Humanity can be defined as different but equal. The word humanity comes from Latin humanitas, which means human nature, kindness, which means that the kind that we have is already existed, it's already part of our life, so it's really up to us on how we're gonna use it. Okay, humanity can refer to all humans, but it can also refer to the kind of feelings humans have for one another. The term humanity refers to the whole human race, which encompasses everyone on the planet. It's also a term for this characteristic that distinguish us as human beings, such as the ability to love. All humanity is the characteristic or state of being humane is characterized by being compassionate, sympathetic, and generous behavior. The basic responsibilities of an individual are respect, cooperation, and participation. That is why the importance of humanity is being a good human being that defines you. All that you need to work upon is being helpful to the needy at all times and every place, and being loving and caring towards all living beings, even plants and animals, and above all, to understand another person's problem and realize the situation they are in and be considerate. Be accountable for one's own actions. Resolve differences in constructive, non-violent, and peaceful ways. Contribute to society and to civic life. Take care of the environment. Just like what Mahatma Gandhi said, you must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. So the greatest responsibilities that we need to achieve as a human in our society is to treat others with consideration and respect other person's point of view, because with that we have peace, and when there is peace there is abundance. So that would be all.
Hi, I am Cherilyn Sikuya. So for the last part, I am going to discuss on how to be a good citizen and why is it important to instill in one's mind and heart. So being a citizen means that you're a part of a group and that you have a legal and political rights within that group. It brings with both privilege and obligations. After all, a nation is only as healthy as its individual citizens. So, in order to become a good citizen, one must possess the following. So, the first one is patriotic. So, in order to become a good citizen, one must be patriotic. We must show love and devotion to our country. So, kung ganahan ta mo show og love and devotion to our country, we must obey the rules and the law. Then we should pay taxes and anything nga under sa ato ang law nga nagpakita og love and respect para sa ato ang nasod. So dili ka matawag nga patriotic kung ikaw mismo citizen ka, wala ka mo tuman kung unsa ang mga balaod nga gipa implementar sa gobyerno. So di ba? Patriotic dapat para mahimo kang good citizen o para matawag ka nga good citizen. So, secondly, we should be a model of good personal qualities. So, kumingon ganita nga model of good personal qualities, mao ni siya ang mga attitude or mga positive attitude nga dapat ipossess sa usa ka tawo aron iyahang mas spread sa iyahang mga subordinates, like being honest, responsible, kind, and other positive attribute a citizen should possess. So, di ba, isip po sa kapatriot sa ato ang country, dili lang kay atong i-follow ang mga balaod og ang usapan ng uban diha nga angay buhaton sa usa ka citizen, kundi ato usab nga tudluan ng ato ang mga batan-on or atong mga isikataw kung unsaon pag buhat og mga maayong pamatasan. In addition to that, in order to become a good citizen, one must be an active member of the community. So when we say an active member of the community, one must participate in the cleanup drive projects, help out neighbors, and the thing we call bayanihan. So, di ba? So, kung ganahan ka, So, di ba? Kung active member ka sa society, dapat jud ka mo participate ning mga events sa imong community. Like, for instance, ako, sa akong community, ni-appeal ko sa amo ang purok. Like, ni-appeal ko aning mga events, aning mga youth congress or whatsoever. So, di ba? Dili ra kayo kanang na-improve ang ako ang kanang speaking skills, kundi na-encourage sad nako ang uban akong mga silingan o uban akong mga kaila nga within sa purok sad namo nga mo appeal sila sa kaninga activities aron dili sad sila mabore sa ilang balay og nasad sila'y makaila og ang ilang communication skills ma-improve sa ilang socialization skills. And the last one is to be a mentor. So today's kids are the tomorrow's citizens. So we should help shape the citizens of the future by mentoring kids. So diba, as what I've said sa katong sa third nga characteristics nga one should be an active member of the community. So para sad ma-indulge nimo o para ma-influence nimo og good actions o good deeds ang imong mga youth o imong mga youngsters diha sa imong palibot, dapat sad ka mahimong mentor sa kaayuhan og dili sa opponent, or mentor ka para sila mamaayo pud sila og dili na sila muliko sa dalan nga dili maayo. As a result, We must embed those values in our hearts and minds because obtaining those benefits grants us the full rights to dispose all of our uncertainties and simply be the finest version of ourselves.
For the record, history check, political science check, culture check, and all humanities also check. And of course, why it is important to be a good citizen? Check. So, we all hope you learn. Bye bye!